Women don't flirt the way you think they do, especially once a guy hits 50. They don't come up to you shaking their hips, they don't send nudes, and they don't just say, "Take me." They're way smarter than that. They test you. And there's a specific sexual test every woman uses when she wants to get a mature man into bed. Before I reveal what it is, do me a favor. If you're feeling that pit in your stomach because you've missed chances like this before, hit that like button right now and comment down below. I was blind. I want to see how many guys have let interested women slip away out of pure ignorance. Now, pay attention because this right here could change your sex life. Most men over 50 think they've become invisible to women. They think no one looks at them with desire anymore. But, brother, that's a lie you're telling yourself. You're more desirable now than you were at 25. Women want mature men. They fantasize about you. The problem is you don't know how to read it when she's giving you the green light. Look, women don't just walk up and say, "I want to have sex with you." They can't do that. Society doesn't allow it. But they give signs, coded signals. And when a woman wants physical and emotional intimacy with an older guy, she asks two specific questions. Two questions that sound innocent, but are actually invitations to the bedroom. And here's the detail that separates the guys who get laid from the guys who stay in the friend zone. Women don't repeat the invitation. If you don't take the hint the first time, it's over. She moves on to someone else. So, what's the first question? Do you spend a lot of time alone? Sounds like small talk, right? But that question is pure sex in disguise. What she's really asking is, do you have someone in your life right now? Are you available? Can I step into your life and your bed? Women don't want to look desperate, so they hide their desire inside innocent questions. But don't be fooled. When she asks if you're alone, she's already imagining herself naked in your house. This question comes in many forms. Are you home alone a lot? Do you live all isolated like that? It seems like you enjoy being on your own. Is that true? They all have the same goal: finding out if the coast is clear. Most guys ruin everything right here. They answer, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty much always alone," like it's just some random fact. Brother, she doesn't care about your routine. She wants to know if you're seeing someone or if the spot is open. A man who understands women responds with veiled sensuality. Something like, "I like my space, but the door is always open for interesting company." Or even, "I'm selective about who I let into my life, but when it's worth it, I open all the doors." Do you see what you did? You said you're available without sounding needy. You hinted that she could be that interesting company. You created sexual tension, and that's what gets a woman going. A man who understands the game without having to be obvious. But listen, the second question is the real trial by fire. What are you looking for lately? This question right here. This is the one that separates a friends with benefits vibe from a serious play. When a woman asks this, she's literally asking, "Can I be your woman, or do you just want to pass the time?" She doesn't ask this to just anyone. She only asks it to a man she already wants to take to bed. Because this question is risky. It's intimate. It's loaded with sexual intent. She'll rephrase it in different ways. What do you want at this stage of your life? Are you looking for something or just having fun? What's your vibe right now? But they all want to know the same thing. Are you a man who knows what he wants? Or are you just another lost soul? Because I'm going to tell you a secret nobody talks about. A woman won't sleep with a lost man. A woman won't give herself to a guy without a direction. She needs to feel that you have purpose, that you know who you are, that you aren't desperate for her. And that's exactly what I teach in Secrets of Attraction. How to create that masculine magnetism that makes a woman want you without you having to chase her. The link is in the description. And brother, this is going to change your game completely. So, how do you respond? If you say, "Oh, I'm looking for peace, I'm just chilling, I'm not really sure," you just turned her off completely. Those answers scream, "I'm a weak guy with no direction." You need sexual clarity. Answer like this: "I'm building the best version of my life, and I only let people in who add to it, not complicate it." raw, naked truth. 99% of men don't realize it. They think it's just talk. They think a woman is going to walk up and say, "Screw me." She won't. She already said it with those two questions. If you recognize this, you're in the game. If you ignore it, she'll leave. And she'll go give it to some other guy who got the message. Subscribe to the channel right now because next week I'm going to drop the 3 fatal mistakes men make after recognizing these signs. Mistakes that turn attraction into disgust in seconds. You cannot miss that. And remember, you know the code now. And let me take this even deeper, because most men still won't get it. The reason these questions work is psychological. A woman is not just testing your availability. She's testing your emotional stability. She's testing your confidence. She's testing whether you crumble under subtle pressure or whether you stay grounded. When she asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" She's watching your eyes. She's watching your posture. She's listening to the tone in your voice. Do you sound bitter? Do you sound lonely? Or do you sound centered, calm, and self-assured? If you respond with resentment, "Yeah, women don't really stick around," you failed. If you respond with self-pity, "Yeah, it gets lonely sometimes," you failed. But if you respond with composure, "I value my space, but I enjoy the right company," now you've passed the first gate. And understand something crucial. Attraction for a mature woman is less about looks and more about emotional control. At 25, she might chase excitement. At 35, 45, or 50, she craves emotional safety mixed with masculine strength. She wants to feel that if she steps into your world, she's stepping into stability, not chaos. Now, let's talk about the second question again. What are you looking for lately? This is where most men panic. They either oversell commitment or undersell intention. They say, "I'm looking for my future wife immediately," which feels desperate. Or they say, "I'm just going with the flow," which feels directionless. Both extremes kill desire. Strong, balanced. The powerful answer sits in the middle. Clarity without pressure. Strength without neediness. Something like, "I'm open to something real, but I don't force connections. When it's right, it builds naturally." That tells her you're not chasing, but you're also not closed. You're selective. You're intentional. You have standards. And standards are seductive. Here's what you need to understand at a deeper level. When a woman feels that she has to earn her place in your life, not by competing, but by qualifying, her attraction multiplies. Not because she wants to chase, but because she respects value. And people protect and pursue what they perceive as valuable. Desperation repels. Indifference confuses. Calm confidence attracts. And this is why 99% of men over 50 lose opportunities. Not because they're unattractive, not because they're too old, but because they don't recognize when they're being invited in subtly. They're waiting for fireworks, while she's offering a spark. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need cheesy pickup lines. You don't need to talk about sex. In fact, the moment you make it explicit too early, you destroy the mystery. Mature attraction thrives on tension, on subtext, on implication. The man who wins is the one who smiles slightly, holds eye contact a second longer, lowers his voice just a bit, and answers with certainty. That's it. She wants to feel that you're aware, that you see her interest, that you're capable of leading without forcing. When she senses that awareness, something shifts. She relaxes, she leans in, she invests more. And if you miss it, she won't explain it, she won't coach you. She'll simply redirect her energy to the man who understood the moment. So from now on, stop assuming you're invisible. Stop assuming she's just being polite. Listen carefully. Watch for those two questions. And when they come, don't overthink. Don't ramble. Don't shrink. Answer with calm power. Because the difference between being overlooked and being desired often comes down to how you respond in those few subtle seconds. Now you know.